Ask Alec.
Hey guys, it's Alec Torelli and welcome to an episode of Ask Alec from Siena in Italy. We're at Piazza del Campo where they have some of the best palios in the world, and it's home to an awesome medieval horse race as well. You can see everybody hangs out here in the piazza, so I thought it was fun, and we will do the Ask Alec right here. So today's question comes from Justin, who asks, am I just an unlucky person? He says, it seems to me I can never win those crucial hands in a tournament, no matter how many I play. No matter how far ahead I am either. He says, they hit those miracle cards that cripple my stack or knock me out altogether. This is how my last 8 tournaments have gone. 8 in a row, he says, and it's ended the game for me. As much as I love the game, I have to consider quitting. My question is, are some people just unluckier than others? And, you know, am I one of them? Well, Justin, to answer your question, I hate to break it to you, but the answer is yes. Some people are just luckier than other people. If you want to look at poker, we'll use an example from our industry. Look at people who win the main event of the World Series. Not to take anything away from massive tournament winners, but of course, to navigate a field of 7,000 people, you have to be one of the luckiest players in the tournament. That doesn't mean that you have to be bad at poker. It doesn't mean you don't have to have an immense amount of skill, but to deny the fact that you have to have an inordinate amount of luck is simply nonsensical. So of course there are some people that are luckier than others, but the key thing to focus on here is not the things that you can't control, which is the amount of luck in your life, but really the things that you can control, which is sort of what you do about it, and not really to worry about the hand that you're dealt in life or in poker, but rather how you play the cards and what you sort of choose to focus on. And that's what I think the real essence of this video is, and that's what really your focus should be. So Justin, if you're one of those people that believe that you're unluckier than other people, there's a chance you suffer from what's called a confirmation bias, which is the idea that you tend to recollect information in a way that confirms a pre-existing belief that you have. So because you believe you're unluckier than a lot of other people, then everything that happens to you in life will reaffirm that belief. So when you take a bad beat, for example, you're looking for information that confirms your pre-existing belief that you are an unlucky person. So you believe you're unlucky, then you take a bad beat and you think to yourself, oh shit, look at how unlucky I am. Of course this is gonna happen to me. I'm such an unlucky person. Here's an example of that. So what happens is you tend to forget the times that you get lucky and only remember the times that you get unlucky. So you're sort of only looking for certain information that already confirms what you believe. So the problem is that because you think you're unlucky, you sort of reinforce that idea throughout your life, and it's sort of perpetuating cycle, and it sort of keeps going. So another reason this might happen is not only because you suffer from a confirmation bias, but even if you believe you're a lucky person, the truth of the matter is that the pain of losing is much greater than the joy of winning. So it's much easier to recollect times that negative things happen to us than it is to remember times that positive things happen to us. This is also because of our expectancy and what we expect to happen in our daily lives. Most people expect to win at poker. They expect good things to happen. They expect things to go right because they fantasize about these things and they just expect that to be their norm. So when things deviate from their expectation or that don't meet their level of expectation, then they become unhappy and that pains them deeply, and so they remember that. Those sorts of things stick with them. When you get it all in with 2 aces and your opponent has 2 nines or whatever, you expect to win. So when your expectation isn't met, you remember that and that pain hurts you a lot. So if you're not suffering from confirmation bias, it could just be the natural game that you play, the natural thing you subject yourself to when you're playing a game like poker. A good way to remember this, or a good way to, an exercise for you to do, is to think about 3 hands that you got extremely unlucky. Pretty easy, right? You can probably recollect a lot of things that come to your mind. Oh, I remember this bad beat or that bad beat. Everybody has a bad beat story, right? But if I asked you 3 times you got extremely lucky in a big hand, it's a little bit harder, right? Nobody has, oh my God, guess how lucky I just got story. Everybody wants to tell you their bad beat story of why they got so unlucky. So this is just the natural flow of poker. This happens to me, this happens to you, this happens to everybody in the world. This is just the game we play. And it's something that you're gonna just have to deal with if you wanna survive in the world of poker. So Justin, and anyone else suffering from this situation, here's a little experiment I'd like you to try at home. Start by readjusting your focus and convincing yourself that you are one of the luckiest people in the world, and watch how those bad beats sort of roll off you like oil does to vinegar. I mean, you notice that when you're in times at the poker table, you've probably had this. Maybe it's more rare than it is common, unfortunately, now, but you probably had times at the poker table when you just aren't affected by the negative things that happen around you because you're in such a good state of mind, you're so focused on your goal, and you're in such a positive state that the bad beats don't really affect you. And even if you lose a big hand, you're like, whatever, no big deal, I'm gonna win it back. And you're so confident that you're gonna win it back that that bad beat is sort of dissolved and it sort of rolls off you, just like oil does to vinegar. There are other times when you're in a negative state of mind and you're perpetuating this idea that you're unlucky and the world is against you and look how sad your life is or whatever it is, and things aren't going your way, that negativity sort of clings to you. And it is almost as if on a subconscious level, you're really hoping to lose. You're actually attracting that negativity. If you look at your behavioral patterns, you might not consciously think that you want to lose, but if you think about your subconscious and what you're actually putting out into the world, you're really looking for signs to reinforce the idea that you're an unlucky person, and that's kind of insane. So a way that I think is really helpful to shift your focus here and shift your subconscious focus is really to think about the ways that you are really lucky in life. If you want to think about your life or poker as a starting hand, chances are if you're watching this video, you're in the first world, you have a great life, you're on the internet, and you're sitting there on your $1,000 computer or whatever it is, you've been dealt a great starting hand in life, something like 2 10s, 2 jacks, maybe even 2 aces, whatever it is. So if you really put things into perspective, poker can seem pretty damn trivial, and I think it's important to start by having gratitude every single day. You can't be happy without gratitude, you can't think you're lucky without having gratitude, and so you really need to start by feeling that emotion of gratitude and being thankful for the things that you have in your life and realizing deeply that you are a very, very lucky person. And chances are if you feel like you're unlucky, it's not an objective truth, but a matter of perspective, or in this case, a little bit of a lack of perspective. So you're not in a situation where you're born in a third world country and the average life expectancy is 30 and you're a favorite to die of AIDS or something serious. Your life's probably pretty good and you're sitting there in your beautiful house and your biggest problem is whatever, something that's pretty trivial in the grand scheme of things. So I think starting by shifting your focus to that approach is really something that'll help you in poker and in life. And this is something that all poker players deal with. I mean, I really feel that when I'm really focused and centered and I really am present and feeling like I am very grateful and I am lucky and I'm thanking my lucky stars for the things that happen around me, even in those $100,000 pots, I still am able to let that roll off me and not suffer from anxiety or just being frustrated about losing money. And so I think if pros can do it when they're playing for tons of money, I think it's a skill set that needs to be harnessed that anybody can do. And Justin, I think it's something you need to work on, and it will really transform your approach, your game, your life, and your happiness. So I hope that is some perspective for you that you could use not just at the poker table, but in general when you feel like things aren't going your way or you're sort of caught up in the struggles of just trivialities of everyday life. It's a game of poker. It is just a game, and there's bigger problems to worry about. And fortunately, life is good. We're in the first world. We don't have that many of them in the grand scheme of things. Justin, I hope you took something from it. If you guys have questions you'd like me to answer, head over to my blog, alectorelli.com, submit your questions to me under poker, and shoot me an email as well. I will pick the best ones and answer them here on this channel. That's it for today. Ciao from Siena, and see you guys next time. Cheers. P.S. Justin, one more thing. A quote that I really like to live by that I think will really help in times of frustration. Energy flows where attention goes. Focus on the positive and good things will come. Peace.